Meet the world's most trafficked mammal you've probably never heard of, the pangolin. This shy, scale-covered creature doesn't bite or bark, yet it's being hunted to the brink of extinction. Why? Its scales are used in traditional medicine, and its meat is served as a luxury dish for the ultra-wealthy in China and Vietnam. Tens of thousands are poached every year. But what makes this humble animal so valuable and so vulnerable? There are 8 species of pangolins. 4 pangolin species live in Asia: Chinese, Sunda, Indian, and Philippine, and all are classified as critically endangered. The remaining 4 species found in Africa, ground pangolin, giant pangolin, white-bellied, and black-bellied, are considered vulnerable. For years, Asian pangolins were the main target of illegal trade. But as their numbers plummeted, smugglers shifted their focus to Africa. The scale of this crisis is shocking. In just 1 week of April 2019, Singapore seized 2 massive shipments from Nigeria. A total of 28.2 tons of pangolin scales. For every pangolin that is rescued, many others are lost. When these gentle creatures are rescued from illegal wildlife trafficking, they're often in heartbreaking condition, dehydrated, injured, or deeply stressed from days or even weeks in captivity. Many are found tightly curled in fear, having been stuffed into cramped cages or sacks. Pangolins are solitary, mostly nocturnal animals. They range in size from a large house cat to over 4 feet long. But their most iconic feature? Their body is covered in tough keratin scales, the same protein found in our fingernails. In fact, pangolins are the only mammals with scales, and those scales make up about 20 to 25% of their body weight. The word pangolin comes from a Malay word pangolin, which means one who rolls up. And it's a perfect name. When they are in danger, pangolins don't run or fight. Instead, they roll up into a tight ball, hiding their soft belly and face. Pangolins are great at climbing trees. They use their strong tails, almost like an extra arm, to hold onto branches. This helps them climb and hang upside down easily. Their tails are so powerful that they can stay hanging from a tree for a long time. Pangolins are great diggers. They use their strong front claws to dig deep, winding tunnels underground. These burrows become safe hiding places where they can rest and stay protected. Now here's where it gets really bizarre. Pangolins have no teeth, yet they feast on ants and termites with incredible efficiency. How? With tongues that can stretch up to 28 inches, 70 centimeters long, sometimes longer than their own body, excluding the tail. When feeding, they can close their nostrils and ears to keep insects out, and they're completely immune to the acid stings of ants. Using their strong front claws, they tear into termite mounds and ant nests, then flick that long, sticky tongue inside and slurp up thousands of insects in minutes. A single pangolin can eat up to 70 million ants and termites per year. Pangolins love to eat ants and termites, and they eat a lot of them. This helps keep the number of insects under control. Without pangolins, too many ants and termites could damage plants, trees, and even farmers' crops. So, pangolins play an important role in keeping nature balanced. Mother pangolins are incredibly gentle and protective. They usually give birth to just 1 baby per year, a tiny, delicate creature born with soft, pale scales. These scales gradually harden within the first 2 days of life. But despite their scaly protection, pangolin babies are still fragile and completely dependent on their mothers. For the first few months, the baby clings tightly to its mother's tail, riding along wherever she goes, through forests, over logs, even up trees. When there's danger, the mother wraps her body around her baby to protect it. It's a sweet and caring act. But there's a tragic twist to their story. Despite surviving for 80 million years, pangolins today face extinction. In 2019 alone, over 100,000 pangolins were poached, making them the most trafficked mammals in the world. Why? Their meat is considered a delicacy in some regions, and their scales are falsely believed to have medicinal powers, despite scientific evidence saying otherwise. Thankfully, conservation organizations around the world are stepping up to save pangolins before it's too late. When a pangolin is rescued from illegal trade, it's not simply released right away. These fragile animals often arrive weak, dehydrated, or injured, both physically and emotionally. At rescue centers like Save Vietnam's Wildlife, the Tiki Highwood Foundation in Zimbabwe, or the African Pangolin Working Group, pangolins receive urgent medical attention and specialized care. They are housed in quiet, forest-like enclosures, given nutritious ant and termite-rich diets, and monitored closely by wildlife veterinarians. This recovery process can take weeks or even months. But once a pangolin is strong enough to survive on its own, the most heartwarming moment comes. It's released back into the wild, often at carefully chosen forest locations with rich food sources and minimal human disturbance. Each release is a small but powerful victory in the global fight to protect this ancient endangered species. Once roaming the vast grasslands of North America, the bison, also called buffalo, was nearly wiped out by overhunting and habitat loss. Thanks to conservation efforts, they've made a comeback and can now be seen in national parks. But did you know bison meat is also very popular in the US and Canada? It's low in fat and full of nutrients, making it a healthy choice. Still, that's just one interesting fact. Behind this strong and iconic animal lies a world of surprising secrets, and you're about to discover them all. People often call bison buffalo or American buffalo, but that's not exactly right. Bison are only distant relatives of buffalo, which live in Africa and Asia. Male bison, called bulls, can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and grow 6 feet tall. That's taller than basketball star Michael Jordan. Female bison, called cows, can weigh up to 1,000 pounds and grow about 4 to 5 feet tall. Even though they are big, bison are fast. They can run 35 miles per hour, jump fences, turn quickly, and swim well. Wolves, cougars, bears, and humans hunt and prey on bison. The American bison, also called buffalo, is a powerful symbol of strength and survival in the US long ago. Around 30 to 60 million bison roamed across North America. But due to too much hunting and losing their natural homes, they nearly went extinct. Thanks to efforts to protect them, bison now live freely in several national parks and protected areas. Bison usually live in separate herds, females in one group and males in another. Bison have split hooves and are surprisingly fast. Even though they are huge, they can run up to 40 miles per hour, much faster than most people. During mating season, which happens from June to September, the male and female herds come together. Female bison, called cows, give birth to live calves after about 9 months, just like humans. Baby bison are often called red dogs because of their reddish fur. They stay with their mothers for 2 to 3 years before the young males join a group of other males, called a bachelor herd. While bison can be calm, they can also act aggressively without warning. Mother bison, in particular, are very protective of their babies. That's why people are told to stay at least 25 feet away from them. Bison are herbivores, meaning their entire diet comes from plants. Grass is their main source of energy and nutrition. When raised by farmers, bison are often kept on open pastures, where they graze freely, just like they would in the wild. These farm-raised bison are typically grass-fed, which means their diet consists mainly of natural grasses rather than processed feed. A healthy adult bison needs to eat around 24 pounds, 11 kilograms, of vegetation each day, roughly the weight of 2 bowling balls, to maintain its strength and body weight. Bison may look tough and wild, but when they're raised on farms, they actually receive careful and regular health checkups. Farmers and veterinarians work together to keep these powerful animals healthy. The animals are gently guided into a chute, a safe and narrow passage that keeps them calm and still during the check. Once inside, experts check their weight, examine their eyes, ears, and mouth, listen to their heart and lungs, and inspect their hooves. Vaccinations are given if needed, and their body condition is monitored to make sure they're getting enough nutrition. It's a fascinating blend of modern care and respect for a legendary animal. Handling bison is not easy because they are strong, fast, and still act a bit wild. Bison don't like being too close to people or being pushed. That's why farmers use special ways to keep them calm and safe. Most bison live on big, open fields where they can walk around freely, which keeps them relaxed. When farmers need to check their health, tag them, or move them, they use strong fences and curved paths that guide the bison gently. These systems follow how bison move in the wild, helping them stay calm during the process. Before the 1800s, Native Americans hunted bison responsibly, using nearly every part. But with settlers came railroads, towns, and disease, leading to mass hunting and what's known as the Great Bison Slaughter. Today, bison are no longer listed as a fully protected species in the U.S., though some groups still fight for stronger protections. Did you know there's a type of red meat that's healthier than beef and still full of flavor? It's bison meat, a delicious secret more and more people are discovering. Bison meat is lean, tender, and has a slightly sweet, rich taste that many say is better than beef. Because it has less fat, it cooks quickly and is great for those who want a high-protein, low-fat meal. Most bison are grass-fed, making the meat even more natural and healthy.
China is home to the largest salamander species in the world, the Chinese giant salamander, an ancient and extraordinary creature that has remained largely unchanged for millions of years. This species, revered for its high value in traditional Chinese medicine and gourmet cuisine, has become a subject of specialized farming techniques in China. Farmers have developed sophisticated breeding methods to raise these majestic amphibians on large-scale farms, but the process isn't as simple as raising fish or poultry. The Chinese giant salamander has unique needs that make its farming both challenging and fascinating. Did you know that Chinese giant salamanders can live up to 100 years? That's right. And they can grow to be over 5 feet long, making them one of the most fascinating creatures in the amphibian world. One of the most remarkable behaviors of the Chinese giant salamander is its ability to communicate using sound. Let's explore. Peacocks, famous for their colorful feathers, are actually a species known as peafowls. The term peacock specifically refers to the males, while the females are called peahens, and their chicks are known as peachicks. Though peafowls have been farmed for their beauty, it's important to note that they are not typically raised for their meat or eggs. Peafowls are native to Asia, though some species can now be found in the Congo. Over time, the term peacock has become synonymous with the entire species. Young peafowls begin life with dull feathers, but as they mature, their colors intensify. It takes about 3 years for a peacock to develop its breathtaking plumage, just in time to attract potential mates. One of the most stunning varieties is the white peacock, which is a unique genetic variation of the blue peacock. While most live in captivity, a few can still be spotted in the wilds of India, adding to their mystique. However, despite the effort, they are not effective enough to manage the entire population of dragons in the area. As a result, professional hunting teams are often called upon to deal with Komodo dragons that pose a significant threat. Hunting these creatures is a carefully regulated activity, and it typically takes place after the breeding season, from September to November. These hunting teams are organized into groups of 4 to 6 members, ensuring the safety of all involved. Equipped with rifles, the teams track the Komodo dragon's movements, choosing the optimal time and position to take the dragon down quickly, minimizing any unnecessary suffering for the animal. However, hunting alone cannot solve the problem. Komodo dragons also face the additional threat of illegal poaching, which further contributes to the decline in their population. On top of this, they are vulnerable to environmental threats such as climate change, habitat destruction, and the effects of deforestation and agricultural expansion. All of these factors contribute to the shrinking of their natural habitat, making their survival even more uncertain. As a result of these combined challenges, the Komodo dragon has been classified as an endangered species and is now protected by the Indonesian government. This influx of tourists provides an important source of income for the local communities, which in turn supports the ongoing conservation efforts. In conclusion, the Komodo dragon is not only one of the most impressive predators in the animal kingdom, but it is also a symbol of the delicate balance between conservation and human interests. In the wild, these amphibians grow slowly, but under optimal farm conditions, they can reach market size much faster, sometimes in as little as a few years. To prevent overfeeding and water contamination, farmers closely monitor the amount of food each salamander consumes. Any leftover food is removed promptly to maintain the cleanliness of the tanks and prevent the growth of harmful bacteria. What you're seeing is a complex network of specially designed pools and tunnels that mimic the salamander's natural habitat, creating an environment that promotes healthy growth and breeding. In Chinese farms, the Chinese giant salamander can grow up to 1.8 meters, 6 feet, long and weigh over 30 kilograms, 66 pounds. With controlled environments, clean water, and a proper diet, these salamanders achieve impressive sizes, far exceeding their wild counterparts. Once the salamanders reach full size, they are harvested and sold to restaurants, the medicinal market, or conservation programs. Their attacks on livestock such as buffalo, goats, and cattle have caused financial losses amounting to hundreds of thousands of dollars each year. In some cases, a single attack can result in damage as high as $5,000 to $10,000, particularly when large herds are targeted. But it's not just about economic damage. Komodo dragons are a serious threat to human safety, although attacks on humans are quite rare. There have been several recorded incidents over the years. For example, in 2009, a fisherman was tragically killed by a Komodo dragon on Komodo Island, highlighting the potential danger these reptiles pose to those who venture into their territory. To combat these threats, local farmers have resorted to creating homemade traps to capture the dragons. These traps are often simple constructions designed to ensnare the reptiles, allowing them to be sold for a high price. Every year, during the molting season, peacocks with their remarkable hunting abilities, sophisticated reproductive system, and unique role in the ecosystem, Komodo dragons continue to captivate both researchers and animal enthusiasts alike. However, their continued survival requires careful management. Maintaining a balance between the protection of the Komodo dragon and the preservation of local livelihoods is essential. The goal is to ensure that both the species and the local communities can thrive together, sustainably, for years to come. Hunt for food. Isn't that amazing? The male Chinese giant salamander takes on a fascinating role as a parent. He creates a special den where the female lays her eggs. He guards the eggs for 5 to 6 months, even going as far as eating infected or damaged eggs to protect the healthy ones, ensuring the next generation thrives. These incredible salamanders thrive in clean, cold water, which closely mimics their natural habitat in underground caves and freshwater streams. To farm them successfully, farmers must create highly controlled environments with constant water circulation, oxygenation, and precise temperature regulation to ensure the salamanders remain healthy. Shed their old feathers, and farmers carefully collect these feathers for sale in the fashion and decorative industries. Peacock farming is a highly profitable business that continues to grow in demand, particularly with the rise in popularity of peacock feathers for use in fashion, interior design, and tourism. Many farmers find sustainable economic opportunities in raising these magnificent birds. In conclusion, peacock farming offers a unique and rewarding venture, where beauty, elegance, and tradition meet economic opportunity. Whether for the beauty of their feathers or their mesmerizing courtship displays, peafowls continue to captivate and inspire people all over the world. Despite being a silent predator, it can produce barking, whining, and even crying-like noises to interact with others, which has earned it the affectionate nickname baby fish in China. But here's an intriguing fact: Chinese giant salamanders are almost completely blind. Instead of relying on sight, they depend on their incredible sense of touch and smell to navigate their environment and